So I've been having lots of conversations of late about digital transformation. Now, this isn't surprising because let's be honest, my company was literally created to help with this problem. And we do this by helping businesses unlock their real potential and deliver their products and services as efficiently and effectively as possible through smart and integrated technology. That's really the goal here. Okay. But one of the things that is surprising me is not the lack of understanding about what tech can do. No, everyone seems to have a bit of a very good idea of what they want these systems to be able to achieve. Let's be honest, people who are in business, they're not silly people. They know what they're doing. They know where their business is going, and they know what they want to try to achieve. And the thing is that there's a lot of information on the internet and through various business networking groups and other things and other groups that you might be associated with, as well as examples of some of the leaders in this sort of space. We all look towards the success that Facebook has had. Some of us look at Facebook as this evil thing that's okay. Amazon, Airbnb, Uber, we can think of quite a lot. Netflix, another example. Really successful businesses that have leveraged technology in smart, integrated ways. So we look towards these organisations and think, yeah, we'd like some of what they've done. We'll have some of that. It's kind of like sitting in a restaurant, seeing a meal come out that you didn't order, and you say, I'll have what she's having, thank you. Okay. Now, in a restaurant situation, pretty easy. You just change your order and you get something new delivered because someone else is whipping that up in the back room, in the kitchen for you, and will deliver to your table. The thing is that when it comes to business and specifically business technology, it's not that easy. Sure, there is so many different products and services which will tell you on their website that they can do all these amazing things. Here's all the features, and you think, cool, I want all of that. Just insert credit card, and it's going to cost you $15 a month or $50 a month, and this can be yours too. And so we do that, and we do this multiple times for all the different things we're trying to solve. You need a CRM system. Well, it's anywhere range from free to $1,500 a month per user, and everything in between. And there's thousands of them to choose from. Same, do you need something to manage your projects and services? Again, you do a quick Google search and you get pages and pages of all these tech companies out there that have created a solution that will solve your problem. All we need is your credit card and a few bucks a month. So we keep on doing all of this, and businesses do this on a regular basis, and before you know it, you're paying around $1,500 a month or more for every employee in your business to do the things that your business needs to do. And you think, well, that's just the cost of doing business. Yeah, you might be right. The problem is that a lot of these systems are designed in isolation, and they're not necessarily designed to play nice together. Sure, if you've been smart and diligent about it, you've sort of gone, okay, well, we've got Google's G Suite as our main email system with our user IDs and all of that sort of stuff. And we'll just find things that play nice with Google. They might use a single sign-on Google authentication. So you just sign in with Google and it connects you to all your things. That's cool. That's a great step. Or if you're in the Microsoft camp, you can do the same thing over there. But usually along the way, there's different usernames and passwords, or maybe there's a particular service you want to use that you think, you know what, I only need one of those. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to be cheeky. Instead of giving one to all of my 20 staff, I'm just going to buy one of those. And then we're going to just use it all together and share all this sort of stuff. Quite often see this with Dropbox for file storage, see this with other technologies as well. And then you get all the other things for marketing and all that, and you might think, well, only one person needs access to that. Hey, the one we want doesn't actually integrate with Google, and it has a unique username and password, and we're sort of sharing this, and then as we grow, we have to share that password and all that sort of stuff. The point I'm getting at is that very quickly, because we wanted to try to respond quickly, we just took advantage of the services that were there. We put them all together to solve the problem. We end up with a bit of a mess. And this isn't unusual. We've all been there. I know I have. My business used to look like that. And I've gone and transformed a lot of this stuff and standardized on a single platform, mostly. And for the ones I can't, I use a lot of integration services, so I don't end up in a situation that I see with a lot of my clients where they're copying and pasting data between systems. The system's integrated by virtue of the smart people that they've employed who managed to cobble this stuff together to make it work. Now, we want to put a good impression for our customers, so we spent a lot of money, and some people spend a stupid amount of money on making this really, really pretty website. It looks awesome. And from the outside, with all the glossy brochures and everything else that you've got, your clients think, wow, these guys must really know their stuff. And then you get in behind the scenes and you go, oh, that's how it works. You know, I've got this web form that's on my internet site that sends an email to someone, and then someone else picks that data up and copies it into 5 different systems to allow it to work. I've worked with other businesses that I must have provided my details to them 14 times just to onboard me as a new customer. Ridiculous. Ridiculous. It's 2021, we can do a lot better than that. And this is what my company's focusing on. How do we do better than that? And it's actually not as hard as you think. However, it takes effort. And I've lost count of the amount of conversations I've had where when we start talking about our process, and our process is quite simple. We start with a discovery. We don't know you or your business and how your systems come together, so we need to discover that. We need to learn more about that. We also don't know how your business works, and we don't know where your business is going. We need to learn this. Now, this isn't something we can do overnight. It takes time. We have to get in and dirty to really learn what's going on. And ultimately, we're never going to know your business as well as you do. It's just a given. We're not even going to know your industry as well as you do. That's why you're in that industry and we're not. So we need to work together on this. That takes time to get that trust, to get that mutual understanding, and to be all on the same page. And often we find a disconnect right at the start when we start talking about how we do our processes and why. And the reason is because of expectation. The expectation is that people can just pay a bit of money, we'll snap our fingers, and magically all the things that you want will happen. Right? That we'll be able to go out, we'll get a couple of systems, we'll install them, turn them all on, and magically you've been digitally transformed. Sorry to burst everyone's bubble. That requires a lot of pixie dust, berries, and magic. Kinda doesn't work in the real world, if I'm honest. So we need to change the expectations here. The expectations is it's like going to the gym. The first day you rock up to the gym, you pay your annual membership, and you think, this is going to be awesome. I am going to be transformed into this ripped, fit, healthy version of myself. You know, the six-pack and all that sort of stuff. But anyone who's gone to the gym knows it's not that easy. It takes time, it takes effort, and if we're honest, the first month is really, really sucky. Getting that base stuff done, learning what you need to do, changing habits, changing processes, changing how things work is the real sucky bit. It's not sexy, it's not glamorous, and quite frankly, we want to just give up real quick, which is why a lot of people who go in with the best intentions for a gym membership last about a month. The same thing with a digital transformation. That first stage is not glamorous. You're not going to make any real progress. It's going to hurt a lot. And you're going to go and question, why are we doing this? What's the value? The value is that we need to get those foundations, which is why the next stage of our process is foundations. So once we get a bit of an understanding of who you are, where you've come from, and I'm talking about your business here, and how you do what you do, and the technologies you've used and put in place to help support that, and then learn where you are going, we can start planning out and working out what you need to be able to support that. How can we set you up to succeed by using some really smart technologies that allow you to achieve your goals? And you go, cool, I love that. But then we get started on it, we start talking about what that looks like, and everyone goes, well, that's not changing anything. I says, not. The first stage of foundations is just consolidating and rationalizing everything you have and making sure that it's well positioned to take advantage of all this cool technology that the likes of Uber, Facebook, Netflix, and everyone else out there that we want to aspire to in terms of where we believe our businesses should be functioning like. They've done the foundations. They've done all this work already. So we need to get the foundations right. The next thing is where we start transitioning. We start transitioning from the way we used to function and the way your business used to function. We start transitioning into a new mode of operating. And this new mode involves not just delivering services via digital means. Yes, that's part of digital transformation. That's the D part of it. All right? But the transition stage is critical. This is when we change in the mindset of the organization that for most of our clients has largely been just get something in and make it work, and then we'll figure out the rest later, right? Only change things when something stops working, and we go with that. The transition part is so critical because it's changing the culture, it's changing the mindset of the business. It's changing what we're used to be more of a continuous change process. It's about looking for opportunities, seeing challenges and fixing them before they break. Meeting, changes in the business world, like 2020 did for us. Hey, you're all working from home, good luck. And you have to enable all these remote services. It's like that, but doing it all the time. So this is the transition bit. And this is where we're relying very heavily on our team, because your team's not used to this. You're not used to this change. And a lot of people say, well, why do we need to go through this? Just give us a new system and make it work. We're getting to that. Because what we're trying to do, and this is when the next bit comes in, which is what we talk about empowerment, right? It's meaning that you don't need to rely on us anymore. You don't have to call up our team and pay our fees to be able to enact change in your business. It means that your business, your team, your people are empowered to make these changes themselves. That is very powerful. We're still there available to support you and your teams to achieve some of the really complex bits, but now your team is empowered to make these changes. Let me give you an example. So every business has a client onboarding process. We talked about this at the start of the video. And that client onboarding process requires you to collect a bunch of information from your clients so that you can put it into the various systems in which to trade with them. Where do you send them bills and invoices? How do you communicate with them? And a bunch of other information you need for you to deliver your products and services to them. Now, for many organizations, especially as they get larger, this can often become quite disjointed. You've got one team that needs one set of information, you've got another team that needs another set of information, etc. And it becomes a little bit convoluted. Now, as a client, I don't care. I honestly do not care how your systems work. If you want to onboard me, you need a bunch of information. I want to give that to you once. Why? Because I've got my own business to run. I haven't got time to fluff around responding to 14 different emails or putting data into 14 different systems just so that you can deliver services to me. Not interested in that shit. So how do we change that? Now, traditionally what you would do if you had an IT consultancy group and you think, we've got this paper-based form or a series of forms that we use and we want to turn this into a digital version of that because we want to save time, because we know that technology can really help if we do it right. So you have one of your employees, they come racing in on a Monday morning and saying, hey, I've got a great idea on how we can fix our client onboarding process. We've got all these 5 different forms plus a bunch of emails that go out, and we know that our clients don't like that. How about what we do is we create one form where they fill in all the data, and then we send all that information to all the various teams. We collect it once and we deliver it everywhere. And your boss goes, cool, let's make that happen. Now, traditionally what would happen is then you can engage your IT group or your business analyst within your organization. You then go out to a vendor, and then you would go and do the little ring around in terms of how you're going to do that. They'll give you a quote. They'll say it's going to take 3-6 months to actually build that stuff for you. And then you go, oh, sounds like a lot of money. And you see the price tag down the bottom and you just want to cry. Not only that, it's 3 to 6 months to deliver this functionality. And it's client onboarding. How hard is that? You just need a bit of information to give to people. So instead of that, what we do is we help give you the tools so that employee can say, oh, I just need to make sure I understand the entire process. Can we have a bit of time? And let's go and whiteboard this. So you get, 3 or 4 other people in your business, you jump into a room for half an hour to an hour, you whiteboard all the different processes, all the steps, all the data you need, and who that information needs to go to, or what system it needs to go into. And you come out of there and you go, that's cool. That same employee goes, you know what? I'm going to go away and build this for you. They go away, they spend a little bit of time, and by the end of the week, they have a system working for you. They've used all the tools, they've got it in place, and it works. Is it perfect? Probably not. Does it work? Yes, it does everything it needs to do. Even better, you're in control of that. You're empowered. This is what I mean about empowering. You've found a problem. Someone in your organization has got the tools or the smarts to be able to do that and fix that. They've gone and fixed it. Morning. And made a change. You've delivered that outcome and you've turned it around in a week. And how much has it cost you? It's cost a little bit of time for your team to understand what the problem is, and for one of your team members who are sufficiently empowered and trained to be able to do this stuff to actually deliver it. The people who understand the process and the business at hand are the ones who are delivering you the solution. And you go, well, I've paid that employee to do X amount of work. Yeah, cool. But the thing is that onboarding process was potentially costing you clients. It was costing you time. And for a little over, or about a week's worth of effort for one of your employees, you've solved that problem. Now, let's assume that the next client that comes on goes, wow, that was so cool, that was easy. And they tell their mates. And you pick up one extra client from that. One extra client. 5 days effort, and you collect another client. Simply because you changed the process and you had your staff empowered to be able to go and deliver that outcome. This is what we are talking about. This is what we do. But the first part of it is not sexy. It's boring, it's hard, and it feels painful. The same as going to the gym. This is hard. I cannot snap my fingers and make this stuff happen. To get to that state takes time. It takes effort and it takes understanding. We are changing the way your business is working. This is what transformation is about. Digital is just about the channel and the tool. Transformation is about change. And quite frankly, as humans, we don't like change. We like the way things are. And some people are even worse. They hate change. Absolutely hate it. If you try to change, they literally go into the fetal process and start crying. And you're saying, but I've always done it this way and it works. Why do I want to change it? Why do I want to risk screwing it up? So we try to look for the quick wins. We try to look for the instant fixes. And in digital transformation, that doesn't exist. And if anyone is trying to sell you that, they're lying. Honestly, they are lying. Because it's not that easy. So in the final stage of all this, the final stage of our process, is what we call future ready. And that's really a state where you and your organization are so adept at this change, at this continuous change and transformation, at solving problems yourselves, that whatever it gets thrown at you in the future, we know the future is variable, we know the future is not well known. Just take the experience we had with COVID. Who could have predicted that actually happening? Very few people did, and most of us were caught flat-footed. You know, and we're scrambling to adapt to that. For many organizations that are still functional today, that have gone through that process, well done. Absolutely well done. It was intense. Now, the thing that's done for us all is it's put on the high on our priority list to take care of our technology systems, because we learnt very, very quickly how important this stuff is. So it would be no surprise why people are talking about digital transformation. In fact, there's a number of surveys that have gone out recently that the #1 priority for most businesses today is digital transformation. How do we use technology in smart, innovative ways to deliver our products and services to our customers more efficiently, more effectively? That's what we're trying to do here. But it's like going to the gym. It's not easy, and the first stage is always, always, always about getting your foundations right so that you can build a great organization. And when you get to that pinnacle that we work with our clients to achieve, of being future ready, it means that the next pandemic, the next big impact to society and to our businesses in general, when all the rules are changed, is not really a problem. Because you're so used to change, you're so used to adapting, and you have the tools and capabilities within your organization to adapt and deliver that. Sure, you'll still reach out to people like us to validate what it is you're trying to do. That's why we're here. But it's purely as an advisory. That's it. You're not reliant on us. And for a lot of technology organizations, they try to build in reliance on them. We don't. We would rather have a long-term relationship with you where you ring us up and say, hey, Andy, how do we solve this problem? We think this is how we go about it, but we're just kicking the tires to make sure. We just want to get your opinion on this. We talk it out, and then you go forth and deliver. That is digital transformation. It uses technology to transform and change your business in such a profound way that technology is not scary anymore. It's not hard. It's just part of doing business. You've got the tools and capabilities to go and deliver it. Hope you enjoyed my little video and the scenery. I mean, let's face it, it's pretty awesome out here. And I'll speak again soon.